my wife and my children, and made the conscious decision I will not die tonight. Detective Adam T. Gruler, Gruler. I was working extra duty at the Pulse nightclub located at 1912 South Orange Avenue, and I've been working that club for approximately a year and a half to 2 years now. So I was standing at the front of my car when I heard gunshots coming from within the building. What seemed like forever went by, but at one point, just masses of people started flowing out of the building from every crevice they could. The shooting continued. Victims started coming out, bleeding. There was somebody, I don't know if a male, female, but they were wearing white, and I could just see red on them. At that point, I'm still taking cover by the vehicle that's parked in the parking lot. Start yelling at everybody, run, 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 go, go, go. It was an active shooter. I identified it as a long gun. I was outpowered. I had a handgun. He had a long gun. It was me. Our training is not to engage solo when we're outpowered. We train for an active shooter to advance towards an active shooter with a team. So I was waiting for additional units to show up. I remember speaking on the radio. He's still shooting. I think I said, get me people here now or something. Seemed like forever that I was by myself.
Shots fired, shots fired, shots fired. Shots fired, 1912 South Orange Avenue, shots fired, multiple down. Shots still being fired. Alright, shots continue to be fired. Alright, we got multiple down. I only got one officer here with me. I still have a subject inside. Continue to shoot. I need people here now, guys.
Hey, stay off the radio. You already called the 43, Gruler. People are coming to you. If he's still shooting and there's still people in there, you need to go contact him.
I remember somebody, it was one of the lieutenants, saying, if it's active shooter, engage. I repositioned to another vehicle that was parked along the dumpsters. There's a fence there. There's a vehicle parked there, which is the VIP parking area. That gave me a view inside the club. The right double door was all the way open. The left double door was about halfway open, being blocked by one of the bodies. I'd say about 75 feet from where I was positioned, taking cover behind a car that was parked in the parking lot to the double doors. Saw the shooter casually just walk through the west bar towards the north end of the building, shooting rounds into bodies as he just stepped over them. Bam, 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 bam. Nobody was running at this point. There was just bodies on the ground. My only focus was watching the shooter putting rounds in the bodies that were down. He started to proceed to the east. At some point I turned, I saw an OPD officer had arrived. I repositioned over to the east side of the business. Patio gate was open. The door going from the main dance floor to the patio was open. And I saw him cross from the left to the right. So from the south side of the main dance floor to the north side of the main dance floor. Again, gun was down. Anywhere from a 45 down vertical, still shooting into bodies that were down. At that point, I didn't see anybody other than him standing. I was standing in the parking lot, somewhere near the sidewalk to the middle portion of the parking lot, looking straight through the opening of the patio door, the door going into the club. And I knew I had a shot. Active shooter, he's continuing. At that point, I fired 2 more times before he was out of my view. There's a momentary pause for me. It's somewhere in that moment or time frame. Thought about my family, my wife and my children, and made the conscious decision I will not die tonight. Probably at the outer range of my handgun for being able to take him down. But at that point, again, I watched him just putting rounds into bodies. There was nobody else standing. It was just him. I knew the club wasn't clear. I knew there were people in there. Then when I watched him through the West Bar, shooting victims that were down, it was one or two here, one or two there, as he just casually walked. He didn't run. He walked, as there were victims that were down in that West Bar. So from him, I was at the outer range of effectiveness for putting him down. I'll probably say about 100 plus feet from the area of what I've identified as 4. I believe I was standing in the parking lot, through both doors into the main club. I could see the bodies from the outside. I had to wait. I couldn't do nothing. I mean, I know I heard over 50, 60, 70 rounds being shot. Conscious thought there was, and that was only because there was a pause of reload. It was of my wife and 6 children, and telling myself I will not die tonight. Then the shooting started again, and at some point, and I don't remember how or why or where, I left from that team, and Lieutenant Scott Smith had arrived with an assault rifle, and was advancing on the main door.
Everybody, if you don't get...
Triage team, no long guns.
No long guns.
No long guns so you
Yeah,
can ram.
come on.
From the front. That's where they are. Get back.
I spoke with the female officer, and we started to put a team together, and told her that she was, long gun up front. She was hunkered down behind her car, and rightfully so. I don't want to speak for her, but she looked scared. I know I was. And when I said long gun up front, she almost had this look of, and I'm not laughing, of fuck you. I'm not going up front. And I do know I said, do I need to take that gun from you? When the first gunshots rang out, I was like, shit, I'm going to be here a long time. We're going to have a murder. And I knew that people were getting shot inside.